Hey everyone, Dale here with Renewable Innovations. In today's video, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to see if we can actually build a DIY solar system entirely from Amazon. Now, before we dive into the build, let's talk about what we're going to need. Think of this as our bill of materials, or BOS. First up, the obvious one, solar panels. For this experiment, we'll aim for something in the 5 kilowatt range. That's a solid system size for a DIY setup. Not too big, not too small. Next, we're going to need an inverter to take that DC energy from the panels and turn it into usable AC energy for our homes. I want to check if we can find microinverters and a string inverter, or better yet, a hybrid inverter. If we're really lucky, maybe we'll even stumble across a battery that works with it too. I'm honestly not expecting that, but hey, it's Amazon, so it might just surprise us. Now, for racking, I doubt we'll find full-on rails and roof attachments, but maybe there's a simple ground mount kit that we can dig up. Something you could set up in your backyard to keep things pretty straightforward. Of course, no system is complete without miscellaneous electrical gear, wire, breakers, disconnects. I'm pretty confident we'll find these items. Now, quick reminder, this is strictly for educational purposes. I'm not suggesting that you go out and buy your whole solar system on Amazon. There are major factors like permitting, code compliance, warranties, and proper design that go way beyond just ordering parts online. That's where companies like Renewable Innovations and our partners like Axia by QCell come in. If you missed our DIY solar versus Axia by QCell video, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check that out. That said, this will be fun. We'll see what's really out there and how close Amazon gets to building a full-fledged system. And don't worry, I'll leave affiliate links to the products we find for this experiment in the description. Yeah, you just got to go down there. So let's get started. First item up, solar panels. I'm going to search solar panels high wattage and see what pops up. From there, we'll build this system piece by piece and see if Amazon can really hold up its own against a professional solar installation. Alright, so we're on Amazon. We're going to do solar panel high wattage. Now I will say I did do some searching already pre this video to see if this was even viable to do in the first place, and it is, so we're all good there. There was one particular brand that really stood out to me, so it's this one, the Sun Gold Power. They had quite a few different configurations already on here, but there's also some things that I thought was pretty cool, so we're going to search for some other products. But yeah, their module configuration was pretty straightforward. Solar panels on Amazon are all over the place. You get a lot of these portable ones, which are great for RVs or power stations if you got like a portable battery. And then you do see some of these higher wattage ones. The problem is with some of these ones, you're only buying like 1 or 2 panels. And even so, many of them are only 200 watts. As you can see, this one from Renewable solar panels, these are only 200 watts. But they're N-type. That's pretty cool. They're N-type. Here's some more 200 watts. 320 watts. This is only 2 pieces, 400 watt panels. And it's kind of expensive. So, like I said, that Sun Gold Power, we're going to go with these guys. I've already looked into them, and they had a couple different configurations. So this is their 450 watt batch. That's 10 of them, and I believe they had an even bigger one on their thing. So let's go over to here, and they had some these ones, the 550 watt. So 10 piece, 550 watts. This is a good pack. These look to be kind of commercial modules. They're somewhere in between like a commercial residential panel, it looks like. I've gone over the specs. They're pretty straightforward. So we're going to add them to the cart so we can keep track of this stuff. And like I said, I'll be including the affiliate links down in the description below. No, I'm pretty good on the warranty. And then this manufacturer also had a lot of other parts that we're going to need. But you can see down here, they're hybrid inverters. So this is where I thought some things were kind of cool. So check this out. So we need a solar inverter. So let's go like just solar inverter in general. And you get a lot of random brands. Palmer, I don't know. That's a 10,000 watt inverter. This one's a hybrid. This one's just a regular. Oh, that one's a hybrid as well. You do find a lot of hybrid inverters. Here's a Belt 2001. That's a small thing. You get a lot of weird products in here. I already found one inverter that I liked, but check this out. If we wanted to go with microinverters, Enphase is actually in here. Enphase microinverter. There's some other brands too. So there's Enphase IQ Power Pack if you're interested in a portable battery. It's not scalable, just an FYI. So we have IQ8 Pluses right here. It's a little underpowering. IQ8M, this is kind of what we would want to use on those modules. Ideally the IQ8H, and for $400 more, trust me, this is definitely more in line with those 550 watt modules. Going to get a lot more power out of this guy. But we need 10 of them, so yeah, that would be kind of steep. We're going to go with the hybrid inverter configuration, but I just wanted to show you that Enphase was in here, and I thought that was kind of cool. I don't think it's direct. It might be. Yeah, it's direct. So yeah, you're buying directly from Enphase, which is pretty nice. I'm already aware that I believe SolarEdge is in here. SolarEdge inverter. So if we go in SolarEdge, or at least they were, yeah, there they are. So SolarEdge has their single phase inverters, and none of their hybrids inverters that I could see were in here. They also sell their optimizers, and these ones again are direct. So you can sell, buy right here from SolarEdge. Looks like they have some other stuff. Oh, those are sponsored. They got their cell cards, MC4 connections. Oh, that's another sponsored one. Optimizers, you would need those with this. But we're not going to go with SolarEdge. So we're going to do solar hybrid inverter, 48 volt for the battery. Because like I said, I did do a little research to make sure this was even viable. And yeah, so this random brand Sun Gold, so we're gonna actually look that one up. Sun Gold Power, and I have no idea if these are of any quality. I mean, some of them do have some pretty solid reviews, like this one. It's only got 2 MPPT inputs for the solar panels, so that should be fine with just 10 panels, because we can do a string of 5, 2 strings of 5, and we're good to go. But they did have another model that had some more configurations, but given this one has better reviews than this other newer model, we're probably going to want to go with it. And they do have an updated unit, this one. So yeah, this is like the newer one. It says updated, and we got 2 MPPT inputs. We have a 200 amp battery charging capabilities. It's 120, 240 pure sine wave. Yeah, thanks. But yeah, the other inverter is this one that I was looking at. I really like this one because it's an 11.4 kilowatt, so it's in line with like a Powerwall, and it appears to have an automatic transfer switch built into it, where I can't really tell if the other one does. I think it does. I'm like 99% sure all these hybrid inverters do, but this one has a pretty big, decent setup. As you can see, it's a clunker. I did look up like EG4 and some other brands. I didn't find them on there. So your choices are definitely limited here on Amazon, but here's some more features on it. So we have 3 MPPT inputs, which is nice for being able to add on up to 15 kilowatts. We're only doing 5.5. You can connect up to 9 of these inverters together, which is pretty ridiculous. It's versatile, grid-tied, off-grid, hybrid solar capabilities all in one system. Advanced AC coupling, user-friendly interface. Yeah, I'm sure it's pretty damn basic. It does have UL certifications, which I think is really valuable. It has an optional 5 or 10 year warranty, so I don't really know if it comes with one or not. But as you can see, here's this simple diagram. Solar panels come in, you got monitoring, you got battery connection, has a generator input, has backup loads, and then you have grid and normal loads. So these would be loads that you didn't back up. Pretty straightforward. I did like this one because it had a lot of options. It doesn't have as good of a review as the other unit, but we're not here for the reviews. We're here to see if we can actually build like a decent system. And if you support the channel by using any of the links down in the description below, who knows? Maybe we buy all this crap on Amazon and set it up in the backyard and see if it's worth the time and effort. Because I think it's pretty cool to even see Amazon having any of this in here. So they talk about their modes. One thing to keep in mind when you're designing a system, if you're going to DIY it, you really need to pay attention to the operating range. So for this, the solar panel MPPT input 70 to 540 volts DC. We're going to be well within that range with just 2 strings of 5. We might even be able to get away with just 1 string of 10 panels altogether. And then also you need to know your current, so that way you don't overload it. Those kind of specs are in the panel. But all in all, I think this is a pretty decent inverter to start off with. And it does support 48 volt DC batteries. And surprisingly, Amazon sells quite a few of those. So let's add this guy to the cart. It's pretty expensive. No, we don't need more warranties from you guys. Thanks, but no thanks. All right, and then these batteries. So there's a couple different brands, but it looks like they're all like the same, just relabeled a couple different ways, is from what I could tell. But this manufacturer actually had their own. So these are 5.12 kilowatt hour batteries, or 5,125 watt hour batteries. They're fully compatible, and you get 2 of them. So it's a 10 kilowatt hour stack right here on the server rack. Now, one thing you'll find is you typically want to put these in an enclosure. That was something I had a hard time finding on Amazon. Let me tell you, not the easiest route. We can go with 4 as well for basically double, and we're good to go. They also have these self-heating ones if you live in a cool area, which, I mean, if you get ice or something, that's pretty cool that they have these ones that have heating built into them, so that way the cells stay in the proper temperature. But yeah, the warranty isn't crazy great on these. We're going to stick with the server rack. They say 15-year life. Don't be mistaken, that's not the warranty. That's just how long the unit will last is what they're projecting. 7,000 cycles is pretty decent. And 10 kilowatt hours, honestly, is pretty freaking solid. They have an integrated circuit breaker for overcurrent protection, which is nice. And like I said, they're part of this Sun Gold Power platform, so they're all working together nicely. 5.12 kilowatt hours, 7,000. It does have UL listings. 9540A is nice to see. So whether or not you would be able to get this permitted, I have no idea. But hey, this is for just shits and giggles. So once I add it to the cart. So we got 10 kilowatt hours of battery. We got a 5.5 kilowatt solar system. We got an 11.4 kilowatt hybrid inverter. So we got beefiness going on. Now we are going to need, since we're DC coupling this, we're going to need possibly some PV wire. And there's quite a different brands out there. PV wire. We only need 10 AWG. And we need the 1500 volt, because those 550s are 1500 volts, because it's high voltage. Now some of them they sell in like this double pack, right, like this one, and you'll find a lot of the time a lot of these products are now being tinned copper. They're doing it to reduce theft, to be honest. I've talked to some of them at the vendors that are manufacturing this stuff, and that's how they're trying to curtail theft, copper line theft, is they're just putting a thin coating on tin on it, because now it's worthless. You can't take it to the scrapyard. So typically you would just buy black. Not very often do you buy red, but we're going to grab 100 feet of just black, and we're going to need it for the home runs when we go to like a junction box. So we're going to grab that. We're also going to need some MC4 connections for those home run lines, and I did find EcoWorthy had a pretty cool kit. So these are MC4 connections. These are what the solar panels use. You have a male and a female, and then you have the connectors that go on the inside. So you have a male and a female version, and it comes with the crimp, which is really nice. This is actually a pretty sweet setup. I can't tell whether or not this is UL listed, but for the sake of just just putting parts in there and building out some pricing, it's really important that you use products that are UL listed and certified, so that way you know it's safe and compliant. I'm not worried about a crimp, but those MC4 connections, I would probably try and go to a local electrical supply store and see if they actually had real ones for me to swap out in this kit, unless, like, when I received them, I saw a UL stamp on the plastic, because a lot of the times they won't put it on there at all. We're also going to need some electrical junction boxes and some number 10. So let's get the more number 10 THHN. It's WN -2. So this is special wire you use when you're installing solar, and it's pretty straightforward. It has a special jacket, so it's that THHN THWN-2, and this is rated for 600 volts. It's residential, and again, it's intended for solar from when you go from PV wire in the junction box to the inverter. So that's why you need this to switch. I mean, you don't have to. You could just run the PV wire all the way over, I guess, but in most applications, you're going to use this. Now, I see they have some bundle kits, which is kind of nice. How many feet is this? This is only 25 feet. I think my inverter is going to be a little further than that. This one has like all of them, which you will need ground. You don't need neutral going from the solar panels, but you do need ground to ground the equipment. You need your EGC. That's 10 feet each. Usually you can go to Home Depot and just pick this stuff up. And it's good to do multiple colors. Have red, have black, have green. You definitely want some different strand colors. Okay, this is pretty solid. 10 THWN. Cool. We're going to add that to the cart, and then we're also going to need some ground wire. I'm going to match what we got. Oh, why isn't it green? The hell? Well, this is a DIY kit, so who cares if it's brown? As long as you know it's ground. Tape it off, people. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to use the proper color. But yeah, there we go. We got those. We're going to need a NEMA 3R electrical box deep. And this is just for us to go from the PV wire to the number 10 stranded. Now, this is pretty common to use, are these little bell boxes. They're pretty solid and you can attach them to the racking. Double gang is typically the way to go if you're going to use that. Like this guy right here. This is usually what you want. And then you'll need some string reliefs. I mean, you could use a couple different things. 2 gang weatherproof deep box. Yeah, that's what we want. Because we don't have a lot of strings, so I'm not really... But they do make like legit junction boxes. Let me look one up. Solar junction box. So this is one with overcurrent protection, but these guys right here. So this is a really nice one that attaches to the rails from Easy Solar. See, it goes right there, and then even with microinverters, you got to convert the trunk cabling into PV, into like the number 10 wire. So, and it has a ground bar in there. You have a DIN rail if you needed overcurrent protection. You know, older systems you'd put fuses. You can see it just attaches to the rail. So I'm going to actually add this guy because I like Easy Solar. They make pretty nice junction boxes, and I know it's like legit. This is a comp one, so if you were going to go in the attic, you'd be surprised at how many contractors don't use this product because it's 50 bucks. Right? See, that's $50 for a junction box up on the roof, and a lot of them will use that double gang. This guy, 20 bucks. That saves them money, and it adds up real quick on those projects. If you got like 2 or 3 arrays, you need a junction box for every array. So that's $150 versus 60 bucks. They take those shortcuts all day long. All day long. And I don't blame them. It's fine. We're going to need some string reliefs. That I don't think we're gonna find. What is this? Let's try 3/4 inch. Oh, goodness, there we go. Okay, so string reliefs, these are pretty straightforward. These are what you use for the junction box when you cut out your hole. So we really don't need 25 of them. These ones have caps, which is nice. So cool, let's grab some of those. That's fine. And that's just your PV wire passes through, and it just helps create a watertight seal for that junction box. Very standard kind of thing to use. So we're getting there, right? We got those. Now we need a rack. So solar panel racking kit. Maybe we'll try kit. Yeah, this is kind of what I expected to find, was crap like this, you know. I mean, it's not crap. It's just like, it's so funny. Let's see if we can find... Oh, they do have some roof attachments. I know, I'm scrolling fast. This one looks... So what you got here is a little piece of a rail, and then an L foot, which looks like iron ridge. It's not, but it looks like it. And then a single lag bolt. There's no flashing. But hey, it's doable. It really is doable. I'm not sure, again, if this is UL listed. But yeah, you can see, oh, there is a little sealant right here that goes between the roof paper and that. You're probably still going to want to use some roofing mastic. It's got some clamps. I don't know if this is continuous grounding. It's really important to have continuous grounding. Otherwise, you literally have to run a bare copper ground wire from every single panel with a ground lug. And let me tell you, that is, those older systems, that's a nightmare to deal with. And I mean, people installing them back in the day, that was literally when I got into the industry, that had changed because of a UL certification that had come out. So racking became continuous. So if you had one piece of rail, or you have grounding clamps all the way through, or a grounding jumper, you only need to ground one rail. For a long time it was every other rail, but in recent years it's changed to where you just need to ground one rail, as long as you have continuous grounding, whether it's through the rail, through the clamps, or through a jumper on stuff like this. So, but yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, we're not planning on putting this on the roof, but yeah, that's there for you. Those are those. Yeah, see, I'm thinking... And Iron Ridge had some of their flashings on here. I did look them up. I didn't see anything from K2 Systems. But yeah, they were in here. This is a pretty straightforward attachment. I just don't know if this actually comes with... It doesn't look like it comes with... Like, are you really mounting it to the panel? Like, oh my goodness. So modules have little holes in them that you can use. They're typically used for grounding purposes. But here you got them being used to screw... Oh my god, they're saying use self-tapping screws to secure the bracket. Don't do that. This is not what you want to do. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. So this is out for sure. Don't use that. I mean, sure you can, but you need to put a ground. You're definitely, anytime you modify the panel, like putting a ground screw into it like that, or a self tapper or something, like you're damaging it, and that's going to void the warranty. What is this? Oh, that's for a tilt rack system for it to adjust. So we have some L feet. We have another racking setup. Yeah, we got more of these things. 2-piece set. So that shows 2 panels. Or 1 panel. Geez, this is like, this will be a big system if you think about it, like how far that is. I mean, you got to do them all in like one row because you can't really stack them, as you can see. Yeah, that works, but on like an RV. But if you're trying to do this in your backyard, that ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work. And then they have these ones which attach straight to the roof. Jeez, wow. Yeah, that's pretty gnarly. I wouldn't do that. Well, this is where it gets a little interesting, that's for sure. Oh, this one looks a little promising. We need 2 rows though, that's the thing. This one again is attaching right to the panel, but it looks like through bolts, not like self-tappers, like, oh my goodness. But yeah, we're still going to not enjoy this very much, and you would basically put this on like a wood platform, I would think, and then go from there. Solar ground mount. Yeah, this is just going to be long because there's no way to increase the height to have two rows. See, they have them staggered right there. And it's honestly a lot of space. Like, that's 4 panels. Those are smaller ones. So the ones that we got are pretty big. So they're going to take up a lot more room. What we're going to do is, let's just go with this rack kit. That's, how many panels is that? This one's adjustable. Sheesh. It's like, what's the difference between this? 30 piece, 2 pieces of 400 watt. Probably will only be able to fit two of the 500 watts on there. Honestly. Alright, well, let's go with these. We're going to need probably 5 of them. And yes, apply coupon. Oh, no, we're not going to log in. Okay, add to cart. Alright, so we've got those. We're going to need a 100 amp sub panel. Outdoor rated. Home line, square D. I do like square D. Indoor. We need this for, this is the outdoor one. Ooh, Leviton's got a nice one. Leviton has some really nice freaking... How many slots is this? Oh, this is 24 circuit? Yeah, that's plenty. Let's grab that. So that's our emergency loads panel. We're going to need some circuit breakers. So let's grab... Did that one come with a... That one's home line? Which one is it? Keep in mind that that Square D has 2 different breaker styles. So we're probably going to need this for the sub panel. So we have overcurrent protection coming in from the inverter. And then we're going to need just a couple 20 amps. I'm just going to grab some 20 amps. 20 amps. Yeah, see, they have these guys. The QOs, they're different than the home line. See, the HOs. So these are single poles. Let's grab a 2-pole. Let's grab a couple of those. Oh, quantity. Oh, they only have 1. Okay. Well, thanks. And then I guess we'll just grab a box of single poles. Again, this is just for... That's just to give us some pricing. Yeah, we're gonna need some... Oh, you know what I forgot? We need silicon-filled wire nuts. Not wire butts, wire nuts. Let's go all departments. These guys, that's a lot of them. Okay. King Innovations, bag of 20. You need these going from the PV wire to the number 10. This is really important inside the junction box. These actually have like a liquid inside of them. I don't know if it's really silicon, but it's something. It's freaking annoying, but it helps keep moisture out of them. So really valuable, and they're pretty solid. So this is exactly what we want to use. And yeah, so we got that. And we're pretty much it. I mean, we got breakers, we got the sub panel, we got some PV wire, we got regular wire, we got the batteries. Oh yeah, we need an enclosure, battery racking enclosure. Outdoor rated. Yeah, this was the part I couldn't really find an enclosure for these things. And it's kind of annoying that they didn't have one. They have these plastic things, but that really doesn't do me any good. What we really want is like a big rack enclosure. Okay, server rack. And they had some indoor ones. Like these guys look pretty nice. Like this would work, but it's indoor. See, this one's kind of nice. This is a nice little cabinet, but I don't think it's wide enough. Yeah, I think you were going to need to go down to your electrical supply store to pick one up that would be appropriate for it. Yeah, what is the depth on these batteries real quick? Dang, somebody already bought that sub panel. Oh no, never mind. Batteries. Depth. So these are 18 inches deep. We'll just call it 20. We need 20 inches. And this enclosure is 19. So not quite enough room. Gotta remember, you gotta have room for your cabling, all that stuff. So for our 24-inch cabinet. Here we go. These look kind of helpful. Yeah. It's depth is pretty intense. This guy's like perfect, honestly. With this 24, yeah, let's grab that guy. That's nice. Let's check this dude out. That's what we were looking for. It's got little stickers already on it. Oh man. It's made of steel. Yeah, so it's fire resistant. That's good. Perfect thing to put batteries in. Perfect thing to put batteries in. Though you probably need, oh, it does have some vents. You're probably going to need to add some more vents to it, honestly. I mean, you need to let those batteries breathe. So this may not be the best enclosure, but hey, we put something in there. So that's it. We've got everything, I think. Let's go to the cart and check this out. So we're looking at $9,521. We have an enclosure, we have our wire nuts, we have circuit breakers, we have a sub panel, we got a janky racking system. We bought 5 of them. We got string reliefs. We're going to need those. We have a junction box. Only need 1 of them. You know, we got our wire. We got more wire. We have our crimps for the MC4 connections. We have our PV wire properly rated at 1500 volts for these panels. Make sure to match the voltage of the wire to the panel's voltage. That was in the other screen. We got our hybrid inverter, and we have 10 kilowatt hours of battery. That's pretty freaking awesome. So for 10 grand, you can build a solar system in your backyard. Is it legal? Probably not. Is it going to get approved by the utilities? Probably not. A lot of the equipment, especially here in California, has to be approved by the California Energy Commission, the CEC. And they actually have a website we can go to, CEC. Approval list? What the hell is it called? Okay, solar equipment list, and this is where you can go to kind of look up stuff accordingly. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, I mean, that's really what you're getting at the end of the day from Amazon. You can get a 5.5 kilowatt solar system with 10 kilowatt hours of battery, a simple racking, some enclosure, and voila, you have an off-grid solution. Everything you need is kind of right there. I'm going to include the affiliate links down in the description below in case you need some of these parts or you're interested in them. Make sure to check that they're UL certified, of course, if you're building a solar system, because there's nothing worse than using parts that aren't properly certified or rated for what they actually need to do. There's a lot of crap on Amazon, and you got to be careful when you're dealing with electrical work. You really don't want to be doing something that could potentially ignite on fire and burn down your house. Definitely don't want that to happen to you. So what I recommend, if you're interested in making the switch to clean renewable energy, work with a professional like me here at Renewable Innovations. We've partnered with large manufacturers and installers throughout parts of the United States, I should say, but we got California, Arizona, Texas, and Florida available. There's Texas and Florida have market selection, but everywhere in California I can help you. Arizona does have also a limited selection, but hey, at least you have someone you can trust to help you. Now, if you want to do this yourself, by all means, I just showed you what your general prices or what your general equipment's going to be. Do I think it's the best way to go about going solar? No. But at least you're doing it and you're taking the initiative to make the switch to clean renewable energy. I know plenty of people that do DIY systems on a regular basis. There's nothing wrong with it as long as you're getting good equipment. And if that's something you want to do, I encourage you to maybe look into a local distributor. There are dozens of them throughout the United States. One of the biggest one is Consolidated Electrical, CED, Green Tech, or just Green Tech now. I don't know. They got a couple different names, but they're a larger distributor, but there are many other ones. There's One Source, which is really good. There's City Electric as well. Many of the electrical supply stores carry solar equipment. Maybe not regularly, so depending on what you're looking for, they may not have it, or they might have some and not all of it. But, at the end of the day, at least you're taking some time to figure this out. And hopefully you found it enjoyable to see that you can build an Amazon DIY solar system. Now, the real question is, if we ordered that, would it all get delivered? I would have to say there's going to be some delays for sure, but who knows? Maybe it really does get all delivered. If you want to find out, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe, share this video, and support the channel, because if we hit $10,000 in contributions from the community, guess what? I will spend the money on this Amazon system and build it in the backyard, and we'll find out if Amazon will even deliver it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.